Hi, I'm Liz Schrum for the Wisconsin Technology Council, here with WisBusiness.com, the show. Just ahead, Tom Still talks about innovation in Wisconsin's dairy industry. And Don Stanley, founder of 3 Rhino Media, talks about the value of digital and social media as a marketing tool for businesses of all sizes and stripes. And now, here's the WisBusiness.com stock report for early May. Rising jobs. The latest monthly estimates issued by the State Labor Department show the state gained 6,400 private sector jobs in March, pushing the unemployment rate for the month down to 5.9%. That's down from the 6.1% rate in February and the lowest rate since November 2008, when the Great Recession was getting underway. The state's peak jobless rate during the recession was 9.2% in 2009. Wisconsin's jobless rate stood at roughly 5% before the recession began. And falling, Myron. Federal prosecutors have announced a settlement with the Neenah-based construction company over billing practices in 5 Wisconsin school districts. Myron will pay $4 million as part of a non-prosecution agreement, which federal officials will use to reimburse the 5 school districts. The schools contracted with Myron for projects between 2003 and 2008. The agreement also requires that a monitor oversee company operations for 3 years in replacement of the company's accounting and auditing firm. And now, here's Tom Still with his Inside Wisconsin commentary.
If you don't think technology has been a part of Wisconsin's dairy industry since its humble beginnings, consider the story of Professor Stephen Babcock and his butterfat test. You may know Babcock's name if for no other reason than the iconic dairy store on the UW-Madison campus that is named in his honor. It's where visitors can buy ice cream, cheese, and more in seemingly endless flavors and forms, all within a setting that speaks to the university's historic role in defining Wisconsin as America's dairyland. Babcock's contributions to that image and reality began in 1890, his first year on campus, with the publication of a straightforward chemistry experiment. He discovered that all of the compounds of milk, except for the fat, dissolve in sulfuric acid. He devised a test that involved adding sulfuric acid to a known quantity of milk, centrifuging the sample to condense the fat, and then calculating the milk fat or butterfat content based on the amount of fat recovered per volume of milk tested. It was an easily conducted field test that revolutionized dairy farming. Roll forward nearly 125 years, and Wisconsin's dairy industry faces new challenges to its continued prosperity, from environmental pressures on the land and water that sustains it, to consumer trends that compel product innovation. Fostering that kind of innovation is the goal of a new tech transfer project within the Wisconsin Center for Dairy Research, one of the world's leading centers for discovery within an industry that has become international in every way. That global presence was on display last month in Milwaukee, where about 3,000 people took part in the International Cheese Technology Expo. That expo was a fitting backdrop for the launch of the Dairy Research Center's Turbo project, which is aimed at removing speed bumps that often slow the process of transferring technology from the lab bench, where too many ideas remain stuck, to companies and consumers. Agriculture was a $61 billion industry last year in Wisconsin, representing 1/5 of the state's gross domestic product, and dairy accounted for nearly half, about $26 billion, of that total. Even modest amounts of new product innovation and production efficiencies will add significantly to that bottom line. Wisconsin's dairy industry has come a long way since Babcock's butterfat test, but changing consumer, production, energy, and environmental demands mean science and technology are just as vital to the industry today as they were at the turn of the 20th century. It makes good sense to stay on the cutting edge of the world's cheese board.
Thanks, Tom. I'll be right back with Don Stanley, CEO and founder of 3 Rhino Media.
White Hirschbeck Dudek represents companies at all stages of development and in a wide range of industries to navigate the legal challenges of regional, national, and global growth. At WHD, every stage takes center stage.
I'm back with Don Stanley, CEO and founder of 3 Rhino Media. Welcome, Don.
Hi, Liz. Thank you for having me.
What is 3 Rhino Media and how did it get started?
So 3 Rhino Media is a digital consultancy where we help clients develop communication strategies in the digital sphere, and we also help them with providing workshops and speaking. And it started basically in 1998, where we started seeing a need for people to understand how to use the web, and then emerging technologies like the web to better run their organizations, their businesses, and their nonprofits.
Digital marketing is core to your business. What should other businesses know about integrating digital marketing into their overall marketing plan?
Probably the biggest point that I make with our clients is that digital isn't a silver bullet. It's part of an overall strategy. So digital should work with and complement your offline marketing, your in-person marketing, and it's essentially meant to help people connect with you on a broader level. But again, a lot of companies, a lot of organizations we work with think it's meant to replace, and it's not. It's part of an integrated approach.
Many businesses are tempted to think of social media as precisely that, social, not a business tool. What's your advice to skeptics?
One of my biggest mentors, his name is Bob Berg. He wrote a great book called The Go-Giver and said people do business with people they know, they like, and they trust. And whether people think of their business and organization as B2B or B2C, it really is ultimately P2P, which is people to people. And in this day and age when people rely on social so heavily for both personal communications and business communications, it's important to know that advertising doesn't work the way it used to. And so when people get to know us as businesses and organizations, they feel more confident and it's more likely that they're going to want to engage with us. So it's important to keep in mind that business and social have merged to a degree, and whether or not we like that's something we need to embrace.
Thanks, Don, and thank you for watching this edition of WisBusiness.com, the show. The show is produced by WisBusiness.com and the Wisconsin Technology Council, and sponsored by Whitehurst Beck Dudek, MG&E, and UW-Milwaukee. Visit our websites to read and learn more. I'm Liz Schrum of Talent But Executive Search. See you next time.